we've seen, as a result of the way we've grown, we've been able to reach over Christmas over 88,000 people in the Awaited show. As far as we know, it's the most successful Christmas show in the country. Honestly, perhaps it sounds so weird to say, but just so you know, so we can give God glory for what he's done in moving mountains, we're pretty sure it's the most successful Christmas show in the history of the world. Don't think there was any show that ever had 88,000 people show up that was based on the life of Christ. Crazy. As a result of the campaign that we've been able to have 22,000 people part of us on a week-in, week-out basis right now. We've been able to use our resources to go after one of our city's crown jewels, Old St. George, and try to rehab that for ministry to reach people in the Clifton Uptown area. We've been able to put hundreds of thousands of dollars, just this last year, into beans and rice as we fasted from beans and rice to go after things like heroin and other things that are afflicting our region to eliminate those things. We had, as a result of our last campaign and the way that we've grown, we were able to take care of 6,000 kids every month in Nicaragua. How many of us are on that right now? How much in different places? The most successful campaign in Compassion's history, in the history of their thing, in the history of all relief efforts. There's never been a church that said, we're going to take 6,000 kids and feed them and educate them until their childhood's over. That's never happened before in one weekend. We did that through God's grace. We were able to see total things outside of that. We're in 70 seconds, 1,000 guys signed up to go to man camp and freeze their noogies off in 10-degree weather, or have amazing weather. Gosh, so kilt would not have worked in that weather. It would not have. And bond and grow deep with Christ. We saw over Easter 41,000 people at our last Easter service, which was creative video coming out of Israel. We saw just a couple weeks ago 1,129 people get baptized. We had 8,000 people part of Go Cincinnati. We have right now these things called huddles and go groups, which are amazing opportunities for ministry and discipleship outside of a Crossroads official building. We got 1,500 people in those things. Now, you know what all that means? We're moving mountains. We're moving mountains. Every number has a name, and every name is known and cared for by God, and he calls his people to be on campaign, on mission, on freedom missions to move mountains. But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you'll be my witnesses in Jerusalem and all Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth. You'll be my witnesses to Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and ends of the earth. Notice this verse doesn't say, you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you to have great Bible studies. You will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you to have wonderful prayer times. Doesn't say you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you to have kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Doesn't say you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you to get a voting block and to vote your politicians in the way you want them. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say you will have power to come upon you so that you have no vices. It doesn't say that. Power will come upon you because the Holy Spirit will end, and you will be my witnesses. You will go on mission. You will be on a campaign to Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. Jesus never stabilizes anything. Jesus never shrinks anything. It's really weird to me, really, really weird, how many people are paranoid about churches that are growing bigger and bigger and bigger. This is always what Jesus had intended. Jesus never intended you're going to come together and you're just going to stabilize yourself. You're going to keep off the onward advancement of all society's bad. No. He never said, okay, you're going to stay there, and here's how you're going to know the churches that are loved the most by God, they're going to be the smallest ones. We think this. We're paranoid about big growing things, but this is exactly what Jesus said. You're going to be big and you're growing. You're going to have an ever-pervading influence because Jesus says this, my purpose for your life and for my Father is to have total world domination. Total world domination. You're going to go to in fact, he says this 2 different times because he is enlisting them to go beyond. So